Hi there, I'm Brad. Today I'm going to give you a little tour of my lab and my shop area. Just haven't got any projects finished to where I can edit the video and get it out there. So I just thought I'd do a little shop tour this week and let you guys see my workshop and what I got going on. Okay, for starters, here's my bandsaw. No big deal. It's a little Halloween project there. Another little speaker cabinet Halloween project. I got a Dremel hanging there and a chop saw over this way. I keep my clamps down there. I have a big air compressor back there, kind of buried a little bit. Battery charging station, belt sander, jigsaw, little bench polisher. This is a project I was working on for Halloween. I'm not sure it's going to make it. I was going to do a room with some actuated stuff, so I was making some gears, and I have a wiper motor and a bunch of bearings, but it's taking a bit longer to do than I thought it was going to, so it's going to probably have to wait till next year. Next, I got bunch of outlets and stuff I bought to wire up my wife's lapidary table. Be doing that pretty soon. I haven't really been taking any video of that, but I might take some pictures and show you how it comes out. Next is a witch's head that goes on a Gemmy prop. Fell over in the wind one year and got busted, so I've been working on gluing it back together, getting it epoxy and getting it working again. Got some wires to hook back up and stuff and try to get it back together. Big vise, big toolbox, pile of amplifiers and stuff. And if we go around the other way, after the chop saw, this is a project I've been working on for Halloween too. It's a Crestron lighting controller. I got this, it was broken. I took it apart and changed all the MOSFETs in it and got it working again. And then I welded this box up and I built it so that I could have a 4-gang box on the front holding the controller, and then a 4-gang box on the back holding the six outlets that it drives. I got an input socket, and then I got the Crestnet bus that I can use to remotely turn this on and off and dim and do everything I need to do. My helping hands, I finally got them fixed. I've had these forever, but they had lost their alligator clips over the years, so got new alligator clips on them, and they're helping me again. I edited all my video on my Surface Pro 1. And another little project I got going on is my wife's puppy chewed a pair of my glasses, so I got to get those fixed. Got all the parts there, I just need to glue them back together. I am working on experimenting with the Sentech metal detector again. That's been a pretty good video for me, so I was working a little harder on it. I ripped the coil out of the wand, so I've been working on looking at different ways to make that coil. I bought some of these. I thought they were ferrite beads, but when I cut into them with my hacksaw, they're just a steel, laminated steel toroid. So they didn't really come out very well. So I was kind of thinking I would make like a tape head type coil and see if that worked better than the one that the unit comes with. But there are quite a few wires wrapped around that baby, so I think it's going to have to be bigger. So I've got a collection of different ferrite coils and ferrite beads and ferrite toroids. And this one over here is my biggest one, and if I started winding some winds around it, I need to get an LCR meter to get that to figure out how many Henrys this is, and try to match the Henrys to my new one I'm winding. So that's in the works, but probably several weeks out. And then back behind there, I have a old power supply I built when I was like 14, and you know, it's just a bunch of banana jacks and toggle switches and fuses and some outlets. And you know, I just kind of use it for power supply. Doesn't work all that great, but it works good enough for most things. Up top I got, you know, a pair of speakers because I hook them up to my Surface when I'm editing, so I can listen to what's going on. I got a TV that it's an old standard def TV. Then I got an 100 meg oscilloscope, 4-channel, little clock so I can tell what time it is. And then up at the top I got Blu-ray player driving the that drives the TV, so I can watch internet on the TV. And then I also have a old high def or ATSC to NTSC tuner, and then RF modulator to drive the TV. And then up here I also have my GoPro holder, so that's just a little, I just spliced together some 2x4s and attached my GoPro frame onto there. Makes it handy for videoing, for making videos. One thing I'm thinking about doing in the future is making it adjustable to where I could move this up and down, because there's times when I want it to be lower, and I kind of have it fixed right now. Moving on, I got parts bins and a drill press. Kind of keep my handheld drill there. More parts bins, clamps, and a tool cart. Move on out here to the garage area. Here's another little project I got going on. I pulled this out of the trash, and I've been working to kind of clean it up a little bit and fill some of the problems. They had a broken leg. I fixed all that, and I I'll show you. The leg was broke down here, so I got it all glued back together and added a piece of wood to help secure it. So that's all fixed. So it's just a matter of fixing some places where the dog had chewed on it. Probably gonna sand it down, paint it. We got a couple shelves there for it too. And then this is my wife's lapidary table I told you about earlier. So I welded these duck feet on so that I can put some casters on it. So here's the casters. Gotta get the casters on it. I drill holes and get some bolts, put the casters on it. So I got that to do, and I got to drill some holes in it, in the top of it. Gonna put this got this lapidary grinder here. It's got basically just a grinder that throws water on the wheels. That wheel over there is a diamond wheel, so it'll grind pretty well, and it just gets driven off a motor. I'm gonna lose that switch and just go to a plug-in, and then that's why I got that other electrical stuff, because that stuff will all plug right into these holes here, and there's 4 of them, one at the top of each leg, so that I'll be able to turn that on and off. Then I don't know if I went over the radio over there. I'll get back to that. But this is another radio that I just picked up off Craigslist for free today. The guy was moving to Tennessee and was getting rid of these radios. Wanted to give them away because they're going to be in the way of his move. So I got this one. Looks pretty cool. And pick up the lid. It's got a 78 phonograph in there. And it's even got the caution, read before playing card in there. And a couple other things. Floating point, something or another. Packed by somebody. So it doesn't look like this is going down on this rest here, so I'll have to look at that. I don't see a speed selector, so I'm assuming it's only 78, which are going to be hard records to come by. And then if you pull up the other side here, here's your Bendix. Can't quite read that. Aviator comparison or Aviation Corporation. Bendix Aviation Corporation says up there. And it looks like they were making airplanes and radios. So we got a volume control with an off. We got a tone control, which just got 3. It says 321 321. It's got phono radio. So I guess you would, if you're listening to the phonograph, this was your tone here, and the radio was up here. So kind of interesting layout, not very user friendly, as we say today. Then you got a range, PB, STD, SW1, SW2, and the 1 is hidden kind of behind the bezel of the tuner window. And then there's a tuning knob, and it doesn't look like this is working. I don't see it seems like it's kind of bound up. And this is something I was telling my daughter that they didn't have, and this one actually has it. And that's presets, and those are all crusty and not working. So they're supposed to pop out when you pick the next one. I was telling her that's one thing old radios didn't have. You had to make a log and where you were tuned, and then go back and go back to that. Use your log to go back and figure out where you were attuned to. But this one actually had a 5 selector for favorites that you could put your little name tags in there. So this will be a fun little project. It's a little crusty, been around forever, but you know, it was free, so what do you want? In the back there's a layout of the tubes. Big speaker down there, and you see these generally had multiple wires going to them because they didn't really have the magnets back then, and so they would use an electromagnet instead of a permanent magnet to drive the speaker. So you'll see there's a, let's see if I can get in here. You can see this is an electromagnet instead of the permanent magnet we see on speakers today. And then the voice coil is of course also an electromagnet, and that's still today, they're electromagnets. Over here this looks like an AM antenna, although I'm not 100% sure. Up here's the mechanism for the phonograph, and over here's all the tubes for the radio. And I just noticed that there's a jack sticking out the side here for plug-in auxiliary something. I'll have to look at that. It looks like it's coming off the speaker, so it must be for plugging in an auxiliary speaker. Maybe. It looks a little crusty. It's got a big knife switch on it, or a big set of contacts on it. So when you plugged it in, it would do some work. But so this will be a fun little project. And then the other radio I got from the guy is right here. Well, I guess I skipped right over it, but this one, the grill needs a little work here, but it's not too bad. The tuning mechanism, not moving that freely. These knobs aren't marked. One's got to be volume and one is maybe tone. It's a Westwood Electric Company, and the grill's pretty dusty, but probably clean up okay. Let's turn it around. Again, you got that big coil, and that's probably your AM radio. This one perhaps is your shortwave radio or shortwave antenna. And then it's pretty crusty back in there. And again, we got, 4 wires going up to the speaker, which is a Lansing Electro speaker. And look at that. I gotta get this cleaned out, but that big tuning capacitor down in there's got a lot of crap in it, but that's a nice little thing. And you can see it's hooked. I don't know if you can see it, it looks a little dark down in there, but that's hooked straight to the tuning knob that was on the front. And we got a big transformer over there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 tubes, it looks like. So this will be a fun little project. Well, I guess that's not the antenna. That's the plug. That is the plug. You can tell that's an oldie. So I'll have to replace that. This cloth wire is pretty crusty. And then this other wire that comes off of here is also cloth coated with some sort of plastic innards. And that's tied to the antenna here. So that's like an antenna extension or something of the sort. And down here it says Westwood Radio Company. Licensed by Radio Corporation of America. Manufactured by Gilfin and Brothers Incorporated. So this will be another fun little project. It's going to take me a long time to do. So that's an update and a shop tour. That's about it. Talk to you later.